In this video we are going to work on performing operations with complex numbers, and there will be multiple parts to this topic. So this is part 1, and in part 1 we're going to talk about how to graph complex numbers and how to take the absolute value of a complex number. So first, let's start off with graphing them. Graphing them uses a coordinate grid like we are pretty much used to seeing, with one main difference. Instead of having an x and a y axis, we have a real axis and an imaginary axis. And we would graph this just like we would with any numbers. So if I had, let's say, the coordinate of -3 plus 1i, well, that means I am going over 3 to the left on the real axis, and I am going up 1 on the imaginary axis. So that would be back 3, up 1, and my point would be right there. This would be -3 plus 1i. And that's really all there is to it, making sure that we remember our imaginary parts and our real parts. But other than that, it's just putting the pieces together. So if we had something like -3i, well, there is nothing in front of the -3i, so we would just go down 3 on the imaginary axis, and we would have our dot there. Lastly, for this topic, let's say we had -2 plus 4i. That means we're going to go back 2 and up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, back 2, up 4. This would be -2 plus 4i. And I didn't label this. This should have been -3i there. So really that's all there is to graphing with complex numbers. We have a real axis and an imaginary axis, and we go in the directions that the real and imaginary numbers tell us to go. Now let's take a look at the absolute value, of the absolute value of complex numbers, which we can also relate to graphing. I hope you found these videos helpful so far, and good luck.